Hi there, I'm Beth, and while I work on a custom Blythe commission in the background, this week's video was suggested by some of my patrons. They asked if I could show how I trim and thin my Blythe doll hair. So this week I'll be doing a little hairdressing. Here are some of the tools you might use. Some scissors. I particularly like to use real hairdressing scissors, though anything that's sharp and a reasonable size should do. These are thinning scissors. You can probably get these in your local pharmacist. One side looks like a comb, and they only cut some of the hair with each pass. Something else you might use is an eyebrow razor, at least I think that's what these are. I've seen people using them to cut yarn doll wigs. You'll also want some hair clips or hair bands. I particularly like these claw style ones. If you're taking apart a Blythe head to do the hair, you might need a screwdriver. And of course, either a doll stand or a heavy vase to put the doll in, or something to attach the head to. This wooden thing holds some reels of trimming, but I realised I could screw a neck joint to the top of it and mount a Blythe head. I don't know why that occurred to me. Here's my first hairdressing customer, my custom Blythe Connie. I think I've already given her a trim before, but I still find that her hair is super long and heavy, so I'm going to take a little more off today. I start by brushing her hair out, and I quickly become annoyed with this doll stand. The jointed bodies always want to give way at the knees. Before I take her head off, I make a note of where I want to cut her hair using a little clip, because once I remove the body, I won't be able to see where the hair lies. There we go. Now she is securely mounted to this stand and can still even turn her head. She has a deep side part, so I make sure her hair is brushed in the right directions. I've decided that I'll keep her hair clipped across her face because of the deep side part. If I cut her hair with it all hanging down, the front will end up shorter when it's clipped up off her face. I think it's easier to get down at the same level as the hair, or prop the doll up higher to see what you're doing better. I start her hair at one end, taking a small section, and cutting across in little snips with the scissors pointed at a diagonal. These scissors have a little dent in them, which is annoying me, so I'll go and swap them out for our real hairdressing scissors. I can remove the hair clip now that I've made a start. I'm just going to continue around the head, cutting the hair to the general level that I want. I use the first piece I cut as my reference and try to keep it level all the way round. Here I use a comb with a long tail to pull forward small sections of hair. I'm also trying to make sure it's not longer on the inside as well. It's looking roughly level, so I'm going to let down her hair from the front and give it a little trim just so that it blends in with the rest. I clip the front back up and make my way round, trimming off any stragglers, being sure to comb the hair out well to shake loose any stray hair. When I'm thinning out straight hair, I want to preserve the full length of the hair where it's visible. I take a strip of hair along the part line and clip it up out the way for the moment. I take a smaller section of hair and the thinning scissors, and we'll make cuts halfway down the hair, then 3/4 of the way down the hair, and then just before the end. I like to comb out the loose hairs in between each cut, so that I'm not cutting hair that's already been cut further up. I repeat this for the rest of this section of the head, using the thinning scissors to cut halfway down again, and halfway down again, brushing between each cut. This should result in the hair becoming thinner and thinner towards the bottom. The reason I clip some hair up first is because the thinning scissors leave little horizontal lines of cut hair which are visible. I will move on to the other half of the head, clipping up a section of hair across the parting, and section by section, thinning the rest. Once finished, I comb down the separated hair from the part, and as you can see, there are no visible cut lines. I'll make one final pass with the scissors. Taking a small section at a time and holding the scissors so the point faces almost directly up into the hair, I snip along the bottom inch or so of the hair. This just thins out the bottom a little more and ensures that the hair doesn't look too blunt and choppy. I brush and shake out all of the loose hair that I can and will rejoin her with her body. My next customer is this gorgeous dark-skinned girl who has been waiting forever to be customised. I love her hair, but it tends to hide so much of her face, I think it's putting me off customising her. I'm going to try leaving her on the doll stand and use a ribbon to hold her against the upright part so her knees don't give way while I move her hair. This curly hair is quite intimidating, and I thought the razor might work nicely to chop at it, but it was quite tough to cut through, so I will leave the razor for yarn wigs, I think. At first, I'm just finding some hair that's been stretched out and trimming it away. Then I take a section from one side of the part and clip it up, similarly to last time. I then try to tease out random sections of hair and cut them quite short, in an attempt to thin out the hair overall. I find it quite difficult to keep track of the hair as it bounces back and covers all the pieces that have been cut. But I did my best and trimmed some of the longer curls short as I went as well. Here you can see the difference. I've been working on the right side. The hair is definitely less voluminous, and you can see just how much hair is sitting on my desk. Here I've worked on the left side as well, and although it's difficult to see in a top-down view, I really like how it came out. Hopefully I'll get this girl customised this year. My last customer is this green-haired beauty who is also waiting to be customised. She has the kind of typical wavy Blythe hair. Super long and heavy at the bottom. I think I will take a little off the overall length and thin out the rest quite a bit. Here I've worked my way along and taken a little of the length off. This time I won't clip any of the hair up because I find that the wavy hair hides the shorter lengths much better. I'll take a small section and the thinning scissors, but this time I hold them at an angle to avoid any straight lines looking peculiar. I make a cut at the middle and 3/4 down, and then lots of small cuts towards the very bottom. This results in a much more wispy end to the hair, more reminiscent of real hair. And here she is, all finished as well. Thank you to my Patreon members for suggesting the subject for this week's video, and a big welcome to our newest member, Christine Ish. A big thank you to you all for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe and comment below. Let me know if there's something you'd like to learn about in a future video. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!